Hello, my friends. My name is Gerdes, and this is a daily brief. So, the big story is not that almost 1,000 Russians are off the battlefield and 24 tanks and 28 combat vehicles and 63 vehicles and fuel tanks. It's still happening. The fighting's still pretty intense, but the big story is more like what's going on here. About 12 hours ago, I'm talking about just before 9 a.m. Eastern time, so this was last night at 8 or so p.m. I put, brace yourself. If you're in Ukraine, 14 Tu-95 MS aircraft are headed to fire missiles on Ukraine. If the launches are from Angles, then the missiles will reach Ukraine at about 3:30, 4:30. If from the Caspian Sea, they'll hit at 4:30 to 5:30. Now, this wasn't me inside baseball. This is cut and paste from Twitter. Okay, Russia's a terrorist state. Now, I saw this a couple nights ago when they had that big barrage. Same kind of thing. Somebody else had identified if they're launching from Engels Air Base, and sure enough, that's exactly what was going on. Ukraine-Russia war live. Poland accuses Putin of violating airspace with missile attack on Lviv. So we'll talk about that in just a moment. Russia launched 57 missiles and drones on Ukraine in the early hours, including attacks on Kyiv and the western region of Lviv that is near the Polish border. So it's not as big a barrage as it was just a couple days ago, that 151 different drones and missiles and whatever, but it's not nothing. It's pretty substantial still. Now, that Polish object the Russian missile that entered Poland, the object entered Polish space near the town of Ozorov, Lubin, I don't know how to pronounce that, I'm not even going to try, and stayed there for 39 seconds. During the entire flight, it was observed by military radar systems. Wasn't shot down, didn't have any consequence. It's going to happen again because there's no consequence. Poland calls on Russia to stop terrorist air attacks on the inhabitants in the territory of Ukraine. So because there's no consequence, they're going to do it some more. They've already done it before with Romania, and nothing happened except for some strong words. Okay, Russia stages major airstrike on Ukraine. One missile enters Polish airspace. A little bit more about it. Air defenses destroyed 18 of 29 inbound missiles, okay, and 25 of 28 attack drones, said the Air Force. So they got much of it, but still some got through, and that wasn't fun. Now, in other news, I also showed you this. Now, remember, that was 12 hours ago. I was showing you this other thing that I copied from Twitter. Well, 15 hours ago, we saw this on Twitter. This was a triple strike. The Russian air defense completely failed to intercept these three, I assume, Stormshadow scalp missiles. And so they were devastating this air command. Now, when I was on the shills last night, I asked the commander here, I said, okay, so we know that this just happened, hitting this communications outpost. So what do you expect would happen next? I mean, what, are they going to go after ships? Or is there going to be seaborne attacks or something? And I said, if you're a gambling man, what do you think would happen? He said, absolutely, I'd press the advantage immediately. And sure enough, the commander was right. Good on him. Here we go. Ukraine says it destroyed 2 Russian ships. Comm center. The Ukrainian armed forces successfully struck the amphibious landing ships Yamal and Azov, a communication center, and a number of Black Sea Fleet infrastructure sites. Strategic Communications Department of the Armed Forces Ukraine said on Telegram. And here we are again. Reuters, Ukraine says it hit 2 Russian warships. These are the ships, the large landing ship Yamal and large landing ship Azov. They're the same class landing ships that we've been seeing them hit again and again and again. Okay, that's all that I have right now. We didn't even get to talking about what happened with Moscow, the aftermath, and it looks like the Financial Times piece might have been disproven, but we'll talk about that in the next video. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the likes, the shares, the subscribes, and the coffees, and thank you for being the kind of person that cares about Ukraine.